Caller, you're live on the air. What's your name, comment, and or question? 202.
Hello.
202, you're live on the air. What's up?
It's Solomon.
Solomon, I feel like I found my long lost son. Dylan Darius from Twitter, ladies and gentlemen, the ghost of Christmas past. What's going on, man? Congratulations. Wait, first of all, congratulations on the site being launched. So before we even talk about anything, tell everybody about the site, give them the URL and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we launched SandersDemocrats.org on Monday officially. It was out for a few more hours or days before that, but it's publicly launched, and it's a large map-based tool to find progressive congressional candidates across the country. We're at version 1.0 right now. We're already working on 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And we hope to have a team of volunteers so I and my other two colleagues don't have to be working so obsessively over it as we are now.
Yeah.
We're super excited. We're expanding. We're getting contacts from candidates. We're getting in donations. Donate if you donate to a candidate you think you want to support. We're super excited. But I heard Thought Experiment while listening, while I was actually working on it right now on the site. And I was like, I got to come in. I got to say something.
Yeah, so tell me what you think. Which one do you think is actually a better threat? The goal is this, right? To change the Democratic Party back to being the progressive party on the left, right? So which one do you think is going to be a stronger stimulant to get that accomplished? A President Donald Trump or a President Hillary Clinton?
I had this exact thought experiment, and I've had it ongoing for about a week now, really, as I've been working on this thing. It was just a thought. I was like, maybe I'll write about it or talk about it at some point, but I came up with a slightly different conclusion than either of those two, which involved Bernie, if Hillary Clinton won the nomination, and won the presidency, what kind of harm or good would that do for both parties? And my thought was, particularly progressive, is my worry that it would be a one-term presidency for the simple reason of the three economic bubbles we know are almost imminent at this point. Tom Harmon talks about the crash of 2016, where we have the student debt loan crisis, where I think we're well into the billions now of defaulted loans, and it's a bubble that's increasing rapidly. We have subprime mortgage rates coming back, especially minority communities. So regulations that were supposed to be put in place on that have been gutted long ago, and most of them weren't very strong in the first place. And the Wall Street bubble is just as large. The banks are just as large or larger than they were before.
Okay.
And so we have a series of large economic crashes heading our way. And I had thought about them for a while, is that if Bernie became president, one of those three crashes could possibly still happen. And no matter if a Democrat won, no matter who they were, it would be hard for them to recover from that kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
Bernie would be the only one I could see having an argument where he could still get reelected after that, because he would be the only one honest enough to say exactly what caused these things, and the one people could trust to say, this is exactly why I got into office, to fix these things.
Right.
This is why he's the only one I could see fighting that fight and getting the American people to understand that these problems were caused by neoliberal economic policies by Republicans and Democrats, and that we have to stop them forever to stop these things from happening again.
So what was your result? What was the result of your thought experiment?
Yeah, the thought experiment is if Hillary Clinton is in this situation and one or more of these bubbles pop in her first term of office in the next 4 years, what happens? Because to me, it is an eventuality, because even the regulations that would stop it, she's not really going to put in place. And so when one of those happens, what do we as progressives do to defend her when we're already only begrudgingly supporting her through her election campaign, if it's happened in the general election, and her presidency? What do people like you or Tom Hartman or Cenk and the Young Turks or MSNBC liberals there, what do we say to defend something that, as progressives, we know would be near indefensible.
Yeah.
And the Republicans would have a field day with that. And for me, on a tactical sense, I wouldn't have. It'd be hard for me to argue that they shouldn't, because when there was an economic crash in 2008, we very obviously blamed George Bush for it.
Right.
And
so you're basing your
crash happened.
You're basing your thought experiment on a potential crash and who would survive that crash. But then likewise, the same thing would happen if that crash happened underneath a President Trump or a President Cruz. So still the question still remains.
The same thing. Who was the previous president?
Right. But
the previous president was Obama, and Obama, who conservatives they could blame that on Obama and get Republicans and independents to believe it. Because what would our defense against that? What would we say?
Yeah, but so actually it would have to, for that last experiment, for that last piece, guys, we're getting way into the weeds here, so stick with us. But in that last piece, that crash would have to happen before November of this year, right? For it to be square on President Obama, or at a minimum, it would have to happen in the first 100 days of the next presidency, right? So if it happened
I'd say
before
the first year, but yeah,
at least at minimum the first 100 days of the next presidency, that would still get credited to the previous president. I think we have more time. I don't think there's an impending crash that's coming this cycle. But let me be quiet, because I've had 2 predictions that have been wrong. Right? I don't want to jinx it. Knock on wood over here. But yeah. So I want to grab some of these other calls, man. Listen, thanks so much for what you're doing over there, and give me the domain one more time.
Yeah, it's SandersDemocrats.org.
SandersDemocrat.org.
Check it out. We're getting great traffic so far. People staying and looking at it for a long time. We're getting contacts from candidates asking if they can be added on. If there are any candidates you see missing, let us know. Or if there's someone, we had problems where one of our candidates ended up supporting the TPP out of nowhere, so we had to take that down.
Yeah. Cool.
So just, you see anything that you think we should add or remove, let us know.
Great. Hey, Solomon, good hearing from you, man. We'll have you on the show as soon as you're available, man. Thanks so much.
All right.
Cool. And I want to follow up on, let's grab it. Did I get that one? Okay, I got you. I'm gonna place you on hold for a minute. But to what he was saying, he has an augmented thought experiment, basically saying what would be the result. So I think, but my only thing with your thought experiment, Solomon, is that it really is just kind of like, it's still a reactionary, what's going to happen in the next election. What's going to happen in the next election cycle. I don't really want to know what's going to happen in the next election cycle. I want to know what scenario is going to make the party that is supposed to represent the progressive movement, what scenario is going to shake them enough to bring them back to being actual progressives and get over that 1960s, 1970, 1980 movement towards the right, towards neoliberal economic policies. And I don't think, I'm really not sure. I don't know. President Trump or President, which one? The bottom line is, which one would mobilize the progressive caucus more than it mobilizes the Democratic Party, right? So a President Hillary Clinton would make Democrats rest on their laurels. I'm tired. It's time to go to bed. On their laurels, right? A President Trump would make Democrats be like, oh, we've got to limit him to 1 term. That's going to make them rally and unite blue. That's what it is. A President Trump will make them say, let's unite blue. And I'm not trying to unite blue. I'm trying to unite progressives. All right, caller, you're the last caller of the night. What's your name?